We're back on the Warwickshire Avon today and we're float fishing for chub. I say back on the Warwickshire Avon because this is our second session this week. We came earlier on in the week and conditions weren't ideal. Sun was high in the sky, the river was running low and clear. We did manage a couple of fish towards the end of the session, but we decided to come out, give it another go. Different swim altogether, different section of the Avon altogether today. We're just below a weir. The river here, further downstream, is a lot narrower and deeper, but I've got my chest waders on, should be able to get out into the middle of the river and present a bait how we want. I'm fishing with the Corum 12-foot glide float rod, 12 to 14 foot, but as I say, I've got my chest waders on so I can get out in the river and present the bait correctly with 12 foot. That's paired with the Corum Axis 3000 reel. Got that loaded with 6-pound line, 3-pound bottom, but I'll go into a bit more detail later on about what I'm using and how I go about fishing these rivers. So let's get a bait in the water, see if we can get the net wet. So what we've done is we've moved downstream a little bit. The water was a little bit fast there and we couldn't get much of a trot on. So here we can get a good 50-60 yard trot on, so fingers crossed. Bit of bread again. Have a play around with the depth, see what we can get. Yeah. Trying to get me under them reeds. There's a big bed of streamer weed in front of me, so I'm going to try and keep his head up. Oh, I don't want to go for a swim. But he's in. So we've had one, about the third run through in the new swim. Bit deeper, bit wider, but not as fast as the shallower water. It's not a very big fish, but it's welcome on the float. It has been raining, but difficult to see the float, but we've had one. So it's just started to rain, so thought we'd take this opportunity to go through what I'm using and how I tackle these rivers on the float gear. I've got the Corum 12 to 14 foot glide rod. It's a float rod specifically designed for float fishing. I'm fishing this at 12 foot because I can get out in the middle of the river with my waders on and I can control the float well enough. If I was on the bank, I'd probably have it set at 14 foot. That's paired with a Corum Axis 3000 reel and that is loaded with 6-pound line. The bottom end of the rig, an inline stick float, quite a heavy one. This is 6 gram. Can control the river with that, nice and bright as well, so I can see it at distance. There are some long trots here. Below that, there's 3 things. I've got 4 gram Olivet, no shot pinched onto the line there. That just slides up and down as I want it to. Below that, there is a small bead that protects the knot where I'm tied to a Preston quick change swivel hook link change. I can lift this sleeve up and there's a little loop underneath so I can quickly change my hook links. Below that, about 1.5 foot, 3-pound bottom and a small dropper shot. All of that, the Olivet being close to the hook, all of that means I can get the bait down quickly, whether it be bread or meat. I'm using quite a big hook. It's a size 6 grappler hook and I'm using meat and bread on that so I can cover the shank well and just leave the point exposed. But yeah, that's it really. Change the depths as I go, depending on the bait, whether I want it to be up in the water or on the deck, will be where I set the float. I can move that Olivet up because I've got the bead stop underneath. But yeah, just set it how I need it, choose the bait that I want, and hopefully catch some fish. Yeah, we're in. Okay. So we had a couple of runs down here and missed a couple of bites. But we finally got one. And it's tiny. One for the future. So we've hooked something in another new swim, a long way down. I believe it's a chub. There we go. I've come up out of the water a little. It's really plodding with its head down. Looks a nice fish in the net. It's a donkey. We'll get this one up on the bank and have a look. So after walking all the way to one end of the river, we've ended up on the peg closest to the cars, and we've had what we come for. Nice Avon chub on the float. Big bit of bread, probably 30-40 yards down mid-river. We've been rewarded, so it's good fun. Get yourself a float rod, stick floats, loaf of bread, come and have some fun.